in true modest Adai style, those are some big things that you just gloss over. So hold on, you have created a bot that provides us with alternatives to our existing spending and shopping habits for Black-owned brands. That is huge. Huge. And, you know, I wonder how many people actually know about that. Welcome to issue 14. My name is Colin Tomlin. I am the co-founder rather, and managing editor of Cashblack magazine, the UK's magazine, which is all about celebrating, cheering us on, and challenging us as Black entrepreneurs and Black professionals to turn up with poise and tune out some of the noise that seems to be happening around us. We've got a really, really great cover story for you. But I just want to share a quick message before I get into it. So last night, Judy and I went to a store opening, actually. And the store opening was for the Inside Out project, a really, really great project that has been founded by Greg, supported by Rob and a great team. And please do check them out, insideoutpjt.com. And in fact, we are actually rocking one of their hoodies. And the Inside Out project is all about turning the lives of ex-offenders around by giving them tangible commercial opportunities as designers. And two of the designers we met and bought from yesterday was a lady called Chanel, who does a great range called Locked In, and also a gentleman called Joe Wanzana. And he does something called Rethink. And actually, I'm rocking the Rethink. And Rethink is really apt right now because as a community, we really need to rethink how we spend our dollars, how we spend our pounds. When we spend our pounds, where do we spend it? And who do we invest it in? Because frankly, any consumption that we do, any money that we spend is effectively an investment in a brand. And I'm really, really pleased to be here with the Cashblack team of Matthew, Jonathan, and Nicholas, who, in fact, I will allow them to tell you exactly what Cashblack is. But before I do that, I just want to make an apology. Judy is not here today, so I'm rocking it on my own. I'd rather her be here, but she's not feeling well today because we went out last night, and I think we probably pushed a little bit too hard. So huge apologies that Judy's not here. So Matthew, Jonathan, Nicholas, welcome to the Cashblack unboxing show. Tell us a little bit about Cashblack, please, before we get started.
Well, thanks a lot, Colin. Pleasure. My name is Matthew Radai. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cashblack. My brothers, Jonathan and Nick, feel very to yourself.
Yeah, my name's Jonathan. I'm also co-founder and COO of Cashblack.
And I'm Nicholas, the youngest brother and CTO of Cashblack.
Okay,
and
brilliant.
Basically, Cashblack is a platform that rewards our members with cashback when they shop online with Black-owned businesses, where users, they register with us, they browse for products and services from Black-owned retailers, and once a purchase is made, they receive cashback from the affiliate commissions we receive from those brands that they can withdraw for themselves or donate to one of our affiliated goodwill causes where we match those donations 100%.
That's fantastic. So in a nutshell, we can buy from your platform, buy from Black-owned brands, and earn for doing that as well, or while doing that as well. Hey, what's not to love? All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about how the business came about, what opportunity you saw, and what problem you're trying to solve. But I'm going to ask the first question, which everybody's thinking about right now, which is, what's it like working together, the three of you? You're amongst friends, you can tell us. And I'm guessing you're sat in the order of age. So Matthew, I'm guessing you're the oldest, followed by Jonathan, followed by Nicholas. So in fact, you know what? I'm actually going to ask Nicholas. Nicholas, you are the CTO, as you mentioned before. What's it like working with?
Nah, full seriousness, it's actually it's nice, you know. It's nice. I've never had the opportunity to work with my brothers on like projects of any magnitude. So I think over the past 4 years, it's helped us grow together. Like,
Okay.
some of the one.
Okay. What about you, Jonathan? I think Nicholas gave us a sanitized answer there. Because
I would just
That's exactly how we practice, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know what Nick says. It's been great working with these two. It's had its ups and downs, but I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been interesting. It's been a long journey as well, and definitely going along with these two on any events. I don't know. It has brought us together as a family and as business partners as well. And I think it's easier as well. It's like as like being siblings, like we can't really just be like, no, we're done, we're not doing this anymore, because like we're all very much related. So if one of us was to say no, it's like can't really do that. So really,
I love it. I love it. You can fight, you can quarrel, you can make up noise, but at the end of the day, that blood is thicker than anything. So that's brilliant. Nice one. And also, you guys have been doing some amazing stuff, because I understand you've been winning some pitch competitions. You've won some investment. I know you've been recently at places like Deloitte and Netflix. So you are certainly rocking up those corporate partnerships. And also, you know, I don't want to be putting ourselves in the same space as Deloitte and Netflix yet, but we've been collaborating a fair bit, at least 2 issues. So you guys are getting out there and doing some really great stuff. But let's go back to the very beginning. You know, tell us a little bit about your early lives. I'm guessing the surname Ade. Did I say it right? Ade? Adai?
Yeah.
Adai. I'm guessing that's a Ghanaian name. Yes?
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about the early years, you know, growing up in the UK, you know, parents, or just you know, paint the picture for us as to the family background of the Adais.
Okay, that's how far back are we going? Right, so yeah, from St. Albans for the majority of our lives together. Yeah, obviously it's at school there, bringing there, surrounded by friends and family there. As I look back on it, working together is almost a natural progression. A lot of people ask, like, oh, was it like, you know, similar to how you did, how difficult it might be, but because we've always been close, it's been great. We've always been a close-knit family. We've never had like real falling out or anything. We're blessed in that regard that we've always just been cool. So yeah, just a natural progression from just being just like brothers to just like business partners. It's just worked out really well for us. So yeah, it wasn't necessarily intentional. It was like for me, for example, I'd always wanted to do something in business anyway. So I thought that like, all right, so post working for other people, eventually I'll do something myself work-wise. I always thought that as growing up, less so with regards to my brothers or so, as such, because like I've always, I don't know, seen myself being more entrepreneurial in general. So it wasn't planned, but then just naturally just made sense that the closer I get to doing something by myself, there's no 2 other people I'd rather work with than these 2.
To just interject as well, it very much
fell into place because I found myself in tech through university, so my college studies. So to find myself in the CTO position made sense.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's funny because we all have like slightly different backgrounds. So as Nick said, he was tech-wise, Matt's more finance, investing in business. I'm more of
Okay.
a healthcare background, so I'm sort of naturally good with working with people like as well. So funnily enough, during lockdown is where it all came into place as well.
As
Okay.
so many businesses,
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Okay. So in terms of roles, Nick, you were saying you're the CTO. Matthew, I believe you're the CEO. And so Jonathan, you perform the people functions, the sales functions. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so it would be the COO role. I've also have a sales background as well.
Okay, brilliant.
Moving on, it's sort of medical sales. It's sort of interlinked with that. So
Okay. And I do understand the stage at which we're all at, you and us. You got to do whatever needs to be done. So nobody can be too precious to say, oh, that's not what CTOs do, or that's not what sales directors do, or that's not what CEOs do. You just do whatever is needed to bring it all together.
yeah, we
So,
overlap each other naturally.
yeah. Okay. And so how did it all start? What was the genesis of Cashblack as a brand, and what did you set out to do? What was the problem you set out to solve?
All right, so back in 2020, I was on a bit of a sabbatical for my last role. I was working for a hedge fund back in 2019, and then after redundancy, I was very much just looking for just like something to do work-wise, work for myself a bit. And around 2020, I thought to myself, all right, I've got this whole year of like free time to basically try and teach myself how the world works, like some autodidactic independent study, just like really trying to teach myself about everything I didn't really learn about in school, and just come out of that with hopefully something entrepreneurial to pursue. And halfway through 2020, with the whole pandemic, the recession, and of course, the anti-racism movement, I feel like we all got a better idea of exactly how the world works. And I'd already been researching why things were how they were with regards to racism and its impacts on like the global South, Black people in general. And I've noticed that there's like a direct correlation between the lack of support for Black-owned businesses and the issues that like, we as a people face, not just in the United Kingdom, obviously in America, but everything we saw that year, that summer, and like literally the rest of the world. And I thought that the best way to try and fix these issues would be to try and find a way to incentivize patronage in Black-owned businesses by having Black-owned businesses reinvest back into the patrons. So as so many people around that time were doing, just like looking for business ideas, like notes app full of stuff to do to ourselves, like, how about a cashback website? We thought, a cashback website for Black-owned businesses. Why don't we call it Cashblack? And what started off as a play on words is now our tech company.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the structure of the business. So I know it's a form, I know it's an affiliate-based model, but just expand and expound for us. How is it structured? How does it work? Well, obviously, without giving away your IP.
All right, so put simply, if you were to make purchases from one of the 800 brands we have on Cashblack, we would receive affiliate commissions from like the brands on the platform. Basically as a reward for you shopped with us. Oh, Colin shopped with us. Thanks for that, guys. Here's, I don't know, £10. And that £10, we take £5 as our like revenue, and we reward you with the other £5 as your cash flow. And then you can withdraw that to your bank or your PayPal, or if you donate it to one of our affiliated good causes, we match that with our own £5. So yeah, it's relatively straightforward. Just sharing the commissions we receive from other Black-owned businesses for getting people to shop, basically paying you to shop with Black-owned businesses.
Okay. And how many businesses do you have on the platform now?
Around 8, I think.
Yeah, sorry.
800 to 1,000. Something like that.
Yeah, it's like 8. Yeah. Well, we have database of like another 200 on top of that 800 something to put on.
Okay.
We're only limited by the difficulty in reaching out to brands and actually formalizing relationships. But officially, it's like 814. We'll take.
Okay. So that's a sizable number of producers, or in fact, what's the type of customers, or the type of businesses, or the type of retailers on your platform? Is it mainly creative? Is it food and drinks? Is it gifting? What's the sort of mix?
We have all work, so similar to most e-commerce marketplaces. We're not necessarily marketplaces to drive traffic to these businesses, but these businesses are from all categories: arts, crafts and gifts, clothing and fashion, jewelry and accessories, services. More often,
Okay.
being onboarded a lot more, particularly financial services companies. We're looking for a lot more of those, what with the need for financial education for the Black community,
Okay.
and it's like the need for other like B2B services with the like massive influx of Black-owned businesses, which we're about. And also, we have partnerships with the likes of Amazon, eBay, and Etsy to host their independent Black vendors on our platform. So in that instance, creators, loads and loads and loads of creators that we get from eBay, Etsy, and Amazon to host on Cashblack. And also with Deliveroo, Uber Eats, and Just Eat, so that we can host all of their Black food vendors, restaurants, takeaway providers, so our members can order directly from those Black-owned restaurants through our website or our mobile app.
I love the fact that you just gloss over, oh yeah, we host for Amazon and eBay and Uber Eats and Etsy. That's massive.
Thank you.
Matt, how did that come about? And what's the sort of impact that's making? I mean, I love the fact that you guys are just so modest and so humble about the thing. But if we had a partnership with Amazon and Uber Eats, we'd be making a little bit of noise about that.
Yeah, no, it's great. We are humble because we're humbled by the fact that they're so open to work with us as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a huge responsibility to not be partnered with massive organizations like that. But then see that's when the hard work starts for us to really make something of those relationships. It's all well and good just having them with names, but then we know that we actually have to be like making the most of driving traffic, generating sales, and just connecting them with the audiences with whom they want to work. So, that was done just by like reaching out. So just literally just cold outreaches. Yeah, putting across what we do. They saw the immediate value because obviously around that time, it's what summer 2020. It just made a lot of sense for a lot of organizations to be working with organizations like ourselves. So yeah, it was just a matter of reaching out and putting across our value proposition, and we're lucky that it resonated. Yeah, that's pretty much how it all works out.
Okay, love that. And so I'm guessing with eBay, sorry, not eBay, Uber Eats rather. What's the work with them like? Because I'm guessing that's more around eateries and restaurants, takeaways. How does that work, and what's the sort of impact that's had?
We had to do the like impossible task of onboarding all of their, well, first and foremost, finding all of their black food vendors, and then getting them on Cashblack. With like using the Uber Eats, because obviously the same Uber Eats Just Eat, right? So we've had to basically source all the different Black food vendors in the United Kingdom, find out where they are with regard to like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Just Eat, the food vendors when they work, onboard them onto Cashback, and then ideally we'd be able to have some real relationship with them where they know who we are, and so we'd be able to put across to them like, hey guys, it's cheaper for your customers if they were to order from you through Cashback, because Uber Eats are paying your customers to shop through us. And so it's not costing you anything, and it's just free promotion and cheaper products for your customers just because you're on Cashback. But having to reach out to them and like put that across to, I don't know if you've ever had trouble from ordering from a Caribbean restaurant or whatever, you know, that whole stereotype about, you know, imagine trying to do that from a B2B perspective. When you're telling them this doesn't cost you anything, this is literally just free promotion for you and cheap products for your customers. Yeah, it's great that we are working with them, but then the amount of work we have to do to manually put these brands on, source their logo, find their descriptions, work out the theme and all that, get their banner, you know, everything, put it all onto Cashblack and then drive traffic towards them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's good
Yeah.
when it does pan out, because we're just they're driving traffic to them. We're getting them way more recognition than they would have done.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just helping the strength of the Black Hounds through that. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it's
Fantastic.
a difficult job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Signed up.
Okay, and to be fair, you're trying to bring about a culture change in terms of, you know, how people buy and how Caribbean restaurants actually sell to the public. So I suspect you'll be getting a little bit of resistance, but I'm sure eventually the benefits will be seen, the benefits will be experienced, and that process will become easier and easier, because ultimately it's about recirculating that black pound, and we've absolutely got to do all that we can to build our community economy.
Yeah. And we remember that energy that was about in 2020. It's our life's mission now to keep that same energy forever, irrespective of how others might have had like their energy wane over time, or just like attitudes towards supporting Black-owned businesses, or like anti-racism measures, etc., may have dissipated a bit. We know that we're in this for the long haul. So yeah.
Love it. So what were some of the, because let me go back a bit. Lots of people glamorize and see starting and running a business as a really, really, you know, oh, it's so easy. You just come up with a great idea, you productize it, and you offer it to the market. And as they say in Only Fools and Horses, this time next year we'll be millionaires. You and I know that that's not the reality. So what's been some of the highlights on the journey, and some of the lowlights, or low points rather, on the journey of really establishing Cashblack, which a journey which, you know, you're still on? What were some of the highlights? What were some of the low points?
Where do we start? I probably in the, I think something like
Fine.
a lot of tech problems we've had in the past with in terms of developers.
Yeah, it's an occupational hazard for any tech company having to go through whole stuff. Because like for instance, Nick's the technical founder, but he's only just finished university. So for the first 3 years, been working part time, and we had to work with external development teams, which is obviously fraught with problems, having to find them, work out who's like actually going to be able to build what you want to build and to the quality that you need it. So we're on technically development team number 5 right now. The first one was us in house. I gave Nick the task of like, all right, cool, we got this idea, Cashblack, made a website, and he made the website, and it was like, oh wow, actually did it. It's got to be a bit more complex than just like a normal like e-commerce website. So we realized we need some outside help to make sure the functionality of a Cashback platform works out. We found one, did a white label solution for us, where it's basically just like a Cashback website, but in blackface almost. It's like Cashblack on the Cashback website. So we just had that out, and we realized that actually we want way more on this. Will you be able to do this? They're like, yeah, for a fee. And we're like, okay, cool, what fee? And it'd be difficult to actually nail that down into how we would be able to like get that off the ground. Left development team number 3, development team number 4, who's a friend, a family friend of a friend of ours. And he basically said, yeah, well, I'll be able to build all of this for you. Everything you said, which in itself should have been like a red flag, somebody saying that they can do everything you asked them to. So by that time, we were like, you know, yeah, might as well. So here's our life savings. Go. And then a couple of months later, we're They said, so how's the project going? And he's very much like, what project? And so, yeah, the red flags start to look a bit like Trinidad Carnival by the time that he got around to showing us the actual end product of it. We realized that, oh, okay, cool. So this ain't it. And we're probably not going to be getting our money back either. So we're going to need to go from development team number 3 to development team number 4, who was actually the white label company for development team number 2. So we went to them and like, look, we want to just go full steam ahead, custom build. We want our website, and now also we want mobile apps, and also we want to do something with the browser extension, because the browser extension, like everyone else uses a browser extension, we want a really cool one as well. And they're like, all right, cool, so and they did an amazing job for like 80% of the way, to the point where project's almost finished. They reached out to me, oh, Matt, seeing those projects nearly done, do you mind paying us the rest of the money just so we can make our accounts look better for our end of year? And I was like, you know, it's going so well, sure, here's the rest of my money. As you can tell from after, you might be able to hear, it's just, not my smartest decision work-wise. Rest of the money went across. Radio silence for like a while until I get the response saying, oh, hi Matt, apologies, but basically we ran out of resources. But because there isn't much left to do, if we have a team in Pakistan, we'll be able to finish off the projects with maybe 10 hours worth of work for free. And then after that, it's between you guys to work out for yourselves. Okay, bye. And then never heard from them again. And so we're working with development team number 5 to try and just put what we'd already sort of built together, which they said, all right, maybe 10 hours, cool. So 10 months later, we were finally able to soft launch last year on the 1st October 2023. As far as low lights go, that would have been the lowest, just because it's an absolute nightmare. Multiple sets of life savings getting just thrown away. Some would say that we got experience out of it. Could have gained experience for a lot less than what we paid, looking back.
Yeah.
But then that's the low light, and that very much leads into the highlight, being able to finally launch. I mean, I like how there's I suppose how they're interconnected. The low light going into the highlight. Actual launching is probably the biggest highlight. So a periods where we really didn't think this will ever get off the ground. It was so difficult to actually build, and then obviously while we're building, having to onboard different retailers, having to constantly explain the value proposition of it. And we think it's a simple, as you said, what's not to love? It's not going to be that. That sort of feeling isn't going to be reciprocated by everyone, unfortunately, which we found out journey. So actually getting it from it's an idea to having it in like your hands, on your phone or your computer as a website, that was the biggest highlight. It made it finally real.
Yeah. And of course, being as modest as you all are, you have failed to mention that you launched in the US. I think it was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're laughing, because, and I know you're laughing, because I've been doing loads of back and forth trade missions with the British consulate out to LA, and only one of us has been able to go out there during that time. So whenever someone like sees like, oh, you've been out in America, and like Nick's like, nah, he's been out in America. But listen, it's just work.
we won't dwell on that too much before, I'm sorry, but let's kind of back up a bit. So was it this year or last year that you launched in America?
This year. So I've had a couple of trade missions. First one with accelerator program, 1,000 Black Voices, where we went out to California, to like LA, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, met loads of different brands, investors, potential partners out there, and it just from as soon as you land there, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this Cashblack thing makes so much more sense socially and economically in America than it ever could here. Unfortunately. So I knew that, all right, cool. Next time I'm out here, I'm gonna actually have to put some roots in the ground properly. So went out again a few months ago in May, made loads of like real connections with like different publishers, different potential affiliate partners, different companies, different potential investors, and May to June, Juneteenth, June 19th in the United States. that whole 6-week period is literally just getting it ready to be soft-launched out there. And yeah, we're able to soft-launch out there. We're still doing a lot of testing because being the perfectionists that we are, we just want to make sure that everything's okay for a hard launch for 1st of February, Black History Month in the US. But yeah, between that time, it's just the energy is so much different. We always knew it would, because when I first was putting the idea to a lot of friends of mine, family even, they're saying that, oh yes, it makes more sense in America. And I won't just go straight to America. So yeah, even if you just couch surf there, you're so much better off there than here. And I kind of knew it, but then it's just, we're already here. You know, I can sort of, just make the most of it, see how it goes here. But then we know that every time we're in America or we're speaking to Americans about it, it's just, no brain.
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, I'm going to ask a little bit about the difference in energy. I'm intrigued as to what those differences are. But I want to preface that question by saying, the even just the metrics between the UK and the US is different. So we've got about 3-4 million Black people here in the UK versus about 40 million in the US. They've got a really established Black economy. They've been around as a people or as a bloc, as an economy in the US for about 400 years, whereas we are still in. I mean, we've always been here in the UK as Black people, but as a bloc, I think we are still developing and still probably in about our 50th year, if you think of Windrush as the latest influence. So the metrics are different, which would mean the dynamics are different. But you talked about the energy being different. What do you mean by that? What are some of the differences between the UK energy and the American energy?
Oh, loads. It's just random example. Like I can get into an Uber in LA from location A to location B. In that period of time, I've already made a new sale, or like the Uber driver knows different people who have different businesses who could be on Cashblack, or he's actively trying to get Cashblack on his phone, and he's disappointed that we haven't launched there yet, and it changes the mood of the whole trip. You know what I mean? It's just like, obviously, I'm like, this is slightly embellishing a bit, but the energy is just so much different because they just immediately get it. Here, we get it once we're reminded that racism exists and racism is bad. So, like, unfortunately, when negative things happen, racism's brought to the forefront of everybody's attention. And then it's just like, maybe it's time to start supporting Black-owned businesses or whatever. Whereas in America, they wake up wanting to support Black-owned businesses and support Black-owned businesses before they go to bed as well. So, it's the energy is so much different, but it makes sense. We know that, like you mentioned, the ideology isn't as mature here as it is there. It's not as needed as it is there. It's an obvious more of a demand in America, and with that demand comes the energy, and with that demand energy, we exist as the supply energy. So. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of like examples where I could just be speaking to random people, especially in LA, California, super liberal. So it's not just Black people. The allyship out there is humbling because I'm just talking about it and I'm like, oh no way, that's American accent. I've been there. I can do it. It's just it goes into a Black American accent. I'm trying to do a white one just to really get across how it is. So feel free to edit this post and that. But yeah, so like, I chat to Americans and I'm like, hey buddy, that's a great idea. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. This is a great idea. And they like, it's obviously the Black people, they understand it. Americans out there, they very much get it a lot more than even Black people here. Sometimes it's a difficult to really get across the value proposition of what to Black vendors, to Black consumers, etc. Whereas in America, you just mention the name Cashblack and they're sold. You either had them at Cash or you had them at Black. It's just a different energy. So
okay. And leading on from that, then, what are some of the things that, in fact, this is a twofold question. What are some of the things that we as the Black community, or we as a Black community here in the UK can do to support you, Cashblack, and also what can we do to support each other to build an ecosystem? And you can answer that in any order you wish. So first, what can we do to support Cashblack and really bring your value proposition alive as the first question? And the second is, what can we do to support each other and really, really be strategic about building our economy and doing things like circulating the black pound?
Well, with regards to us, then, obviously registering Cashback, recommending it to friends and family, not just for consumer sake, but we could always do more black-owned business. Downloading the app, as mentioned, utilizing the app Cashback Afrobot. We haven't even spoken about it, but when we were coming up with Cashback, the biggest pain point after money was just how difficult it was. All that friction that people were getting. I don't know where to find black-owned businesses. Well, we created the Cashblack Afrobot, which is our acronym for algorithm for redirection of black-owned traffic, which is our browser extension, which uses artificial and learn how to
Afroaffiliate, which is algorithm for
Black Afrobot. It's our algorithm for
Afrobot.
redirection. Yeah, the algorithm for redirection of black-owned traffic. So it's basically a browser extension which uses artificial intelligence to learn how you shop, so that we can redirect you away from the usual big-name multinational brands to our black-owned retail partners for similar goods or services. So if you're shopping for skincare, you might go to the likes of Boots or Superdrug or the Body Shop, right? But if you land on one of those websites with the Afrobot installed, we'll be able to notify you of alternative black-owned brands that exist and take you to their stores for you to earn cashback on your purchases. So we thank you. So like, as far as we're seeing, we've done as much as we can.
Sorry, I in true modest Adai style, those are some big things that you just gloss over. So hold on, you have created a bot that provides us with alternatives to our existing spending and shopping habits for black-owned brands. That is huge. Huge. And I wonder how many people actually know about that.
So nice. We just need to market it more and make sure it works exactly how I've described it, so that I can get that reaction from everyone else.
We've been talking for a while, and I know about the Afrobot. I know about Cashblack, obviously, and your whole Afro-affiliate model. But I think maybe it's because I wasn't listening. I think today is just the first time it actually really sank in. And that's huge, because you are effectively providing alternatives to people in terms of their existing spending habits and just buying it someplace else. So you are really taking out the pain of having to decide, okay, I want to circulate my black pound, who do I buy from now? The Afrobot does that. We're gonna have to talk more about how we can help to spread that message, because that is huge. Anyway, I interrupted you. Sorry.
But you're right. That's thanks. It is big. It's huge. But yeah, that's how we could be supported. That's how we look to support everyone else. And you asked the second question on a bit more of a macro scale. All that can be done. It's easy for us to say because now our futures are inextricably linked to this, but supporting each other in times of bad and good. God forbid something else happens tomorrow where it's just I know an unarmed black man's killed by the police, or there's an incident of discrimination for a major organization towards black consumers or customers, or as recently, not drawing too much attention to negativity, but a black actress isn't given the correct amount of recognition she should be getting when starring in a film across media publications. It shouldn't just be then when we remember, right, maybe it would be a good idea for us to support each other because not everyone else will. Nah, you shouldn't have to wait for negativity to happen. Negativity happens all the time. By that logic, we should be supporting ourselves all the time anyway, but we don't. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's literally just about keeping the same energy from when things are very bad to when things are slightly better. Not necessarily when things are good, because things will good and bad in this regard are somewhat subjective,
yeah,
but at least before things get to the point where you have to be reminded, oh yeah, we do actually have to so for
yeah,
one another. So yeah,
absolutely.
that's what I would.
I love it, and I hope I'm not misquoting or misremembering W.E. Du Bois' quote, an American philosopher and professor, that basically said, "Nothing good will come from a community that doesn't circulate its dollars within its community." And obviously, he was writing about the American context, but it's still quite apt and applicable here in the UK. Um, so yeah, definitely. I mean, I hope you already know this, but I will say this publicly. You know, we have been really, really keen on supporting the work of Cashblack, and really just sharing the message, and driving people and traffic to the platform to say this is something that really, really must be done. And even anyone watching this now, it's around Christmas time. uh, I really, really want to encourage you to think differently about how you spend your pounds this Christmas into the new year. um, do the people who you spend your money with actually share your values? Do the places that you go to buy your products have the same regard for you as you have for yourself, and as the members of your community have for you? Sorry, that's a bit of a tangential public service announcement there. So what's the future look like for Cashblack? If you could roll the clock forward 10 years, what would things look like, and what would you hope to have happened, not just with Cashblack, but also with us as a community, and things like our spending habits, shopping habits?
Okay.
Do you want to mention the Afrobot?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So they'd like a true CTO.
yeah, no, he's right. It's easy to forget because our roadmap is huge, so it's easy to overlook stuff. Things like licensing and patenting the Afrobot. So as cool as it is
Good.
for our demographic, we know that personally from our perspective, not everyone's going to care about supporting Black businesses like that, because everybody has their own niches, their own causes, their own marginalized communities that they would like to support. Licensing and patenting that so that we know that we'll be able to develop that technology so it can be used for supporting women's own businesses, sustainable shopping businesses, LGBTQIA plus businesses, etc. We know that what we are building is, as you said, huge. So yeah, we'll be looking to license and patent that for that to be to be able to democratize consumerism on a far
Good.
grander scale than now. Beyond that, working more to enable Afro affiliate to really push other Black-owned businesses forward. So yeah, as I didn't touch on too much, but alongside Cashback, we also have our sister company, Afro Affiliate, which is our affiliate
Okay.
network that connects Black-owned brands with different content creators and media houses, and basically enables Black-owned businesses to convert their current loyal customers into economically incentivized brand ambassadors, so that anybody with an affiliate for one of those businesses will be able to earn their own active or passive income by supporting Black-owned brands. So we want to be helping way more Black-owned businesses on the one hand, and then on the other hand, helping more Black creatives be able to generate their own passive or active revenue by supporting them. And also just working with those sorts of those either macro or micro influencers, bloggers, podcasters, publications like Cashblack, of course, be able to generate further revenue by connecting them with more businesses, both the Black-owned businesses and also the major organizations who want to be able
Yeah.
to tap into the Black community. Because in doing this, we know the strength of the Black pound, the 300 billion pounds spending power of us in the United Kingdom, in America, the over $1 trillion power of the black dollar. And we know that these major organizations, many of whom that we already work, the Amazons, the eBays, the Etsy's, they want to be able to tap into these audiences. They know that, as demographically speaking, black people are 60% more likely to be able to shop off the back of social proof from other black people. And we understand the value in it. And so we're going to be utilizing Afroaffiliate to make sure that the whole community can benefit from like these corporations and their capitalism, because we recognize that there is true capitalism in our culture, and it's about time that we're able to capitalize on that. And then beyond that, a bit of an exclusive for you. We'll be hoping to roll out Cashblack brick and mortar. Basically, Cashblack brick and mortar will be our way of enabling all of the physical locations for like barbershops, beauty salons, food vendors, bars, restaurants, in-person like clothing stores, market stores, etc. Having all of them on Cashblack, and then linking them through open banking technology, where our members on Cashblack, like yourself, will be able to register with debit or credit cards to be able to shop with these physical locations and earn cashback on your purchases in real time. So that obviously you'll benefit from the direct like cashback from literally getting paid to shop for black-owned businesses at their physical locations. And then the businesses are able to benefit from the repeat custom because they know that, okay, cool, we're on Cashblack. That means that Cashblack members are going to be more likely to shop with us because we're rewarding them with cashback on their purchases. So it's another way of making the black pounds from the black consumer go to the black-owned business, and from the black-owned business back to the black consumer, keeping the black pound 100% in the black community.
And to be honest, that sounds like the ultimate loyalty program. Doing exactly what it's meant to do, which is circulating that pound and promoting repeat customers or repeat custom. I'm really excited for your future. One thing you can always be assured of is us here at Pitch Black will be cheering you on, we'll be celebrating you, and we'll be certainly challenging you to go even further, because I reckon you guys have just scratched the surface as to what's possible in terms of affiliate shopping within the black community and rewarding us for spending within our community and circulating our pound. So hey, well done, we salute you. And we're excited for the future. Nice one. And we've got some stuff that we've been talking about in terms of rolling out next year, which we'll keep in reserve for this conversation. And we'll roll some of that out next year. But before you go, we've got to do the quick fire dozen. Now, I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, to be perfectly honest, because this is the first time we've done or I've done it with more than one person. Typically, Judy and I will interview one person and we'll go through it. But let's see how it goes. So I'm going to ask a question or give you two options, and you're going to choose one. I'm gonna do away with convention and not start with Matthew as the oldest, but I'm gonna start with Nicholas as the youngest. Nicholas, it's not hard questions. It really isn't. Don't look so worried. It's really, I give you two options, and whatever comes to mind, you just choose one. So I'll start with the really easy one. Jollof or rice and peas?
Jollof.
Okay. Nicholas? Sorry, Jonathan. Which one? Jollof or rice and peas? Jollof. Okay. Matthew?
Jollof.
Jollof. Okay. So unanimous jollof there. Okay. Plantain or plantain? Nicholas?
Plantain.
Okay.
Plantain.
Okay. Matthew?
Yeah. Free for free, plantain.
Plantain. Okay. I think this one might then start some changes in the unanimous answers.
All right.
Beach holiday or city break? We'll start with Matthew. Why change convention? Sorry, go on, Nicholas.
Yeah, beach holiday.
Beach holiday. Nicholas?
Probably city break.
Okay. Okay.
Beach holiday. Beach holiday.
Holiday. Okay. So beach holiday, city break, beach holiday. Okay. I guess Matthew and Nicholas, you're going to the same place, possibly. Jonathan, you're on your own. All right. Cash flow or capital appreciation?
You starting with me?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
We'll go with capital appreciation.
Okay.
I think I'd say cash flow.
Cash flow. Okay.
Trying
Matthew.
to be different.
Pressure on me now. Which one of you two is right? It's not
Yeah.
get it. All right. I can actually say and justify, but because you just want the one word, cash flow.
Yeah. Okay. Said like a true CEO. You can value your business at billions, but if you ain't got that cash flow to pay your next bill. Okay.
Yeah.
Another one that might be a biggie: Netflix or YouTube.
Oh, I have to say that.
I'd say you. I think it's easy for me.
All right. We just did. Yeah. Yeah. So the reason why they're laughing is obviously we just did an event recently with Netflix, right? So clearly we are a Netflix people because Netflix were like one of our big, first big like marketplace like collaboration was with Netflix. So the idea is like, obviously you're Netflix.
Yeah.
No. So so unanimous Netflix.
Love it. Love it. Unanimous Netflix not.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Okay. Reggae or Afrobeats?
Reggae.
Reggae. Okay.
I think reggae as well.
Okay.
All right. Without any context, right.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Listening to music or listening to a podcast?
Music.
Podcast.
Podcast.
Music.
Music. Okay. So music, podcast, music. Okay. Stocks and shares or crypto? Harder and harder now. It's.
No, stocks and shares.
I actually thought you'd be more crypto, especially you, Nicholas, in terms of CTO and. I thought you'd be into. Nah. Okay.
Keep us away from like meme coins and degeneracy. We're simple people over here. Simple FTSE 100 people.
I like it. Okay. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Milk.
So all milk chocolate. Did I get that right? Did I hear that right? All milk chocolate.
Yeah.
All right. Another big one now: Samsung or Apple? Oh. Apple.
Apple.
Okay. Unanimous and quite quick. So yeah. Nice one.
Yeah.
Night in or night out?
Night in.
All right, just to be different and controversial, night out. I spend like 99% of my time on my laptop. So yeah, if given the choice, night out. Yeah.
Night out. Okay. I'm not sure. I think also Jonathan took too long to answer that question. When he said night in, it wasn't very convincing.
Yeah, no, it wasn't on his chest. Yeah, he was giving a correct answer, not necessarily his correct answer.
Exactly. I'm sure he's the one who's probably out the most.
Yeah, maybe most of them. I literally only go to networking events and that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds like a night out to me.
Very quickly on that one. The very, very last question. This is what I call the pièce de résistance. And this is, in fact, let me just check. Any of you guys vegetarian or vegan?
No.
Okay. All right. So oxtail or curry goat?
I'll go first. I haven't had. I think curry goat. It's been a while since I've had oxtail. So
Okay.
Oxtail.
Very good.
Oxtail.
I have to say curry for the same.
Curry goat. Okay. So 2 curry goats, 1 oxtail. All right. Normally when Judy and I are doing this, I'm the oxtail guy and she's the curry goat guy. So she's normally, whenever she hears curry goat, she's like, woo! And whenever we hear and I'm like, yeah, I knew there was a reason why I liked you.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
don't worry. Like all three of you, whatever you've chosen. So Matthew, Jonathan, Nicholas, thank you so much for being on the Pitch Black Unboxing Show. Well done for all the work that you are doing. We will absolutely be watching with interest. We will be supporting in any way that we can, but we absolutely just know that Cashblack is going to make a huge splash in the world of buying at black and really rewarding us for doing what we really should naturally be doing. So well done for all that you're doing, all that you have done, and what you will continue to do in the future. Well done. We'll just be supporting you. And hey, we're in your corner, man. So thank you for being here. Take care. God bless.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.